My mic sounds nice.
Hey. Well, my name is Rad. Got a red bucket. Hey, drop the beat. Fuck it.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Yo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Get an intro, man. Get a fucking intro, man.
Welcome to As the World Turns.
You gotta have a day off from work to see that shit. Hey. What's
ready?
up, y'all?
You ready to start?
Let's go.
Let's run it.
Let's go.
Let's run this goddamn podcast. All right, listen. Cheers.
Cheers, my nigga. Hey. We out here. Get an intro, man.
Before we even get into the intro, I wanted to tell you,
Yes, sir.
dead serious.
I hate when you tell me stuff. Go ahead, man.
My daddy was a Kappa. My mama was an AKA.
She says, son,
If you pledge anything, Kappa is the only way. I'm talking about her. Talking about a Kappa. No, not Omega Psi Phi. No, Kappa Alpha Psi. Kappa to the day I die. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
Hey, if you thinking about pledging, you gonna see your old head on the yard at the homecoming.
Big Brother Boombox.
Radio Web. Yo.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Welcome back. This is the 3/5 pod. I am and always will be B-Web. Joined here with my homie.
Rad is in the building. I'm locked and loaded. I got my bucket on. Let's have it.
Bucket
Let's
low,
go.
like fuck it
What's
though.
been good, my nigga? You know what I mean? We out in these COVID streets, taking pictures.
I don't know if you heard, ain't no more COVID. Texas said ain't no more
Joe
COVID.
Biden, I told you last time, Joe Biden the best thing we ever seen. We about
Texas said
to
ain't no
be
COVID.
back.
Florida said ain't no COVID.
They crazy for that shit.
Mississippi said
They
ain't no
little-
COVID.
That's what you call premature
It
ejaculator.
was a hoax.
Yeah.
Hoax.
No, I don't know, man. Joe Biden called them out. Said, look, y'all need to shut it back down.
Let me
Shut it back down.
let's talk to the people. Thank you to everybody that's been watching from day one. We really appreciate the views, the
Yeah.
feedback.
Facts.
Everybody who was clicked the link, watched, subscribed to the page,
Yep.
shared it with their homies, with their frat brothers, their sorority sisters, with their family, friends,
Catching a
everything.
wave out here.
Most definitely. So we
Yeah.
want to thank y'all. We appreciate it. Keep giving us feedback. We trying to get better with every
We love y'all.
episode. And some shit we getting worse at. And that's just, it is the way it is. But
Hey, drop a comment though. You know what I mean? We taking feedback. We're gonna add it to the repertoire. And you know what I mean? Keep it fucking moving. In case you're wondering, we're drinking this Bull Young. This is a black label right here out of Delaware, I believe. We got some.
that's a good bourbon. Good bourbon. So, go ahead, grab you one. So, as you said that, we just plug Bull Young. Every time we on here, we give a shout out to a black brand, black apparel, whatever it's going to be. I've been thinking to myself, why is it so hard to get support? Why is it so hard for your own people to support you? Like, we talk about supporting each other. We talk about supporting black shit, and we are honestly trying to do it. But why is it we have to go out of our way to say, yo, it really don't cost nothing to show love. It costs nothing to show support. It don't cost nothing.
It's true. My experience has been, black brands span every industry, every genre, you know. So I have a fundamental issue. It just seems as though if you hire a black company to come do something at your house, they be late. They don't have the materials. They don't have the damn payroll. You gotta front them all this money. You know, we have issues, and so like the idea that I'm just gonna support you because you're a black brand is not good enough for me. I'm gonna support you because you're a black brand and your quality is good. Is where we need to be having the conversation, right? And like, it just seems as though, and I mean, tell me something different. Seems as though when you hire a white company, they on time, don't have no excuses. They come and knock the job out. You pay them their money, they go home. You don't have to deal with all the shenanigans. So I mean, I struggle with it, Webb, to be honest with you, because I want to support my brothers and sisters, but at the same time, you gotta come correct because you know what I mean. Like I'm putting my money out.
I don't disagree with any of that, especially when you're the consumer and you're paying for a service. Mm-hmm. But what I'm speaking to is more specific to it costs nothing to show love. Like, in order for us, we got this podcast going.
Right.
And we got our main homies, they supporting. It's a lot of people that we don't know that's supporting. Mm-hmm. But it's hard I look at it like this. In my chapter, let's say I got 120 people in my chapter. Mm-hmm. I should be able to count on at least 100 views a week. Why don't I get that? Mm-hmm. It costs nothing. It's not like I'm asking for money out of them. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you got to watch the whole 20 minutes or a half hour at a time. Click on it, watch 5 minutes.
Well, who's to say the 100 like what you're doing? Maybe they don't want to look at it. Maybe they don't even like you.
But it don't cost nothing to show love. It don't cost you nothing. It ain't no money from you.
It ain't no money, but they might not like you.
My chapter brothers like me.
He took that personal. He didn't like that. He like that.
But why is it like that? The same way when I
get that. I
told you when I go on the Black Podcast hashtag or the Black Content Creator hashtag, it's a majority black women. The whole thing that pops up is black women. Mm-hmm. I'm not typing in black female content creator, just black content creator. 90% of it is black women. And what you see is when I click on those pages, you see different podcasts following each other, different photographers following each other.
Are you talking about Instagram?
Women, yeah.
Do you think Instagram has anything to do? You know, they like the metal and stuff.
I do think.
You know, they create background algorithms and all that. Do you think that they're driving any of that? Because, America don't think much of black men at all.
No,
they want us to be shit.
That's true. Yeah. But I do believe, like, the black female podcasts that follow us and that we follow, or the photographers or whatever, or the artists or whatever, they super receptive. But the males are as well. It's just not, I don't know, it's not as forthcoming with the men. Mm-hmm. And I just want to know, like, why is it so hard? Mm-hmm. Like, it don't cost nothing to show love.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this question. So on LinkedIn, right, on the professional platform, if you go look at somebody's page, it tells you who came and looked at it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that the same with Instagram? Like, how do we know somebody's not supporting? How do we know they didn't stop by? They might not have liked it, or they ain't drop a comment, or none of that. How we know they ain't looked at it? Do we have a stat on that?
No, I'm not necessarily basing this off what I'm seeing on IG as much as what I'm seeing on the YouTube channel. And I'm not talking about having strangers click the link and watch. I'm talking about the people we know. If you got 80 people in your chapter and I got 120, it should be no reason that we can't come together and have 100 views off the rip. Right. But
I agree with that.
It ain't that easy. Like, you should be able to put the word out. Yo, I'm doing such and such. Right. It ain't gonna cost you nothing.
Yo, just to your point. I mean, think about all the people we know outside of our chapters and across organizations. I mean, you and I, you've been in your organization. I mean, you've been in the organization 18 years. I've been in mine 15 years, going on 16 years, and we got a lot of history across the Divine Nine. We know a lot of damn people, and so I get what you saying, and maybe it takes us having a physical cookout or something this summer where we have a 3/5 pod, you know what I mean, joint in DC and have everybody come out. How y'all feel about that? Leave a comment. If you want us to have a joint, leave a comment. We're going to have it anyway. Whether you like it or not, we're going to have a 3/5 pod cookout and rep your black brands at that joint.
But staying on that topic, I'm pressing myself now. Like, I want to make sure when somebody does something that I know, I'm doing at least the bare minimum to support. Like, if you just need me to go like the page or click a link or whatever, I got to join today. Like, yo, can you support Police Athletic League or something in Delaware? But one of my chapter brothers working with it, trying to raise some money for some kids. All right, I'm there. I'm gonna throw some change at it. So, you know, it's got to start with us too. But I just thought it was an interesting thing. Like, it don't cost nothing to show love.
Well, and it's funny you said that because, you know, Tommy is a part of Cheney's alumni network, and he's raising funds for scholarship for college students at Cheney, and it was literally via, you know, buying some popcorn. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that ASAP, right? Like, to make sure that kids can pay for college. And we, you know, it's a real big circle where we all need some help. We just got to figure it out. Like, yo, put that money over there to that company and help them out, or help out another person. You've been in that same situation. So just help out. And so, like, one way or another, you get it back. What you sow into the 3/5 pod, 3/5 pod gonna put that back out. And, like, we gotta continue to have this conversation, man. And I was watching. Did you happen to catch Soul of a Nation the other day?
No.
So they're talking about. There's a town in Illinois that has literally passed a reparations bill within the city. And I mean, I got some issues with it. You know, black people always got issues with some shit. But essentially what they did was they legalized recreational marijuana. And they said with the sales tax behind it that they're going to fund reparations for the people in that town. And so the people are supposed to get like $25,000 from the, you know, the sales tax of the marijuana. What's kind of your feeling about, because the issue in the black community is we're not monolithic, so we don't all think the same. But what are your thoughts around reparations in general? What is, if somebody came to you and said, Webb, what would you like to see in a reparations package? What would it be?
That's an interesting question, and I don't know that I can give a well thought out answer, but just off the top of my head, I think you should have options. Education should be one. So should you choose to take this particular option, your college is free. But everybody ain't going to college, so you can't just say that's just it for the people. At
any institution or at HBCUs? You got to really be like specific about this, because people feel different.
We wouldn't have HBCUs and we wouldn't need reparations if it wasn't for the fact that they did what they did.
Right.
So we should be able to go whatever fucking institution we can get into.
Correct.
We wouldn't need HBCUs if y'all didn't do that shit.
Right. Slaves were instrumental in Georgetown, which is not an HBCU.
But if you're not going the education route, then it should be, all right, you should be able to get a stipend of, I don't know what the amount would be. I don't know what a proper amount is. I don't necessarily always agree with putting cash in hand, but why the fuck not? Like, you got 400 years of bullshit out of us.
What about what Herschel Walker said?
My ears don't
I
even
never
register
liked
what
him,
Coons
man.
say.
I never liked him.
I
I mean, him and
understand
Candace
Coon
Owens
language.
is in the same box.
He said this. He said that blacks shouldn't get reparations.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean,
I don't understand Coon language. He speaks a different language.
you get free labor out of a people. You owe them something. I mean, that's the bottom line.
I mean, it's just interesting that when Jews were persecuted, it was time to form the state of Israel. Mm-hmm. Israel didn't exist prior to that, not as a formal state.
Right.
When they finally had to admit to the persecution of the Native Americans, the American Indians, they had to say, all right, you know what, reservations, and then, you know what, from there, you get that money for the casinos. Okay.
Right. I just learned about that. It's crazy.
It's some wild shit.
Yeah.
But why is it, what did they do for black people? Mm-hmm. They freed us in words only. Did everything they could to make sure that we never...
Freeing us meant we gonna pay you for your
citizens.
Shit. Yeah.
We were second-class citizens at that point.
Yeah.
And it took an additional 100 years just to say, no, you can actually vote properly. They still trying to suppress that. Like, so what is truly... What can we get that is compensation for what we've given?
Well, you know, like somebody else said, why are we still paying taxes?
Jump it back in.
Hey, Webb, let me tell you, dog. One of the most vicious things I've ever heard. Vicious. Like I said, pull up to the light. You in your 4.0. Pull up in my 4.6. You had to like, you hop on my dick right in front of your chick.
So, yo.
Ask me some shit like,
Yo, dog.
what's the difference between 4.0 and 4.6? Like 30 to 40 grand cocksucker beat it. Hey, yo. This shit's even got leathers? What?
Yo, that's some crazy shit.
Yo, Jay-Z gotta be
that's some
the
wild
GOAT,
That's some
the
wild
GOAT.
shit.
Yo, he's the
That's
man.
some wild
Yo.
shit.
That's vicious, dog.
All right, hold up.
You want to stun on a nigga?
Hold up.
Say that shit.
All right, so as we do, as we always do at this time, let's talk these black brands.
Black brands.
Let's talk this black power, this black support.
Y'all always
support black
top of
business.
mind. Yeah. Appreciate y'all,
So,
man.
Where we at with it? What you got?
Man, I'm rocking a dear friend, street culture joint. They was testing some shit out. It was like, yo, we gonna do some upside down shit. See how you like it. I like this joint. So check out Dear Friend. Check out their IG. Check out their website. Most recently, I seen that they were doing some community service up in New York, serving others. Was the hashtag. So you know what I mean. At the end of the day, if you have resources and there is a community of black people that don't, you need to give back to them. So shout out to them, man, and you know, support them if you have the means and you're looking for a good sweatshirt. What you got, Webb?
So right now I got on the some days I'm Malcolm, some days I'm Detroit Red. It is created, designed by a Detroit-based company, Detroit Style Exchange, DSE. I fuck with them heavy. You know, I saw this and I had to have it because it made all the sense in the world to me.
Right.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Yo, I looked at that joint and all I could think about is Trick. Yo, Trick is a cold motherfucker, dog.
Listen,
word. You want to be on Trick bad side, dog.
I want to get into that. I love the fact, like, it's some Detroit motherfuckers out there bigging up the Detroit black community and understanding what they've donated, what they've put in, what blood, sweat, and tears they put into this culture that we have. Yeah. So that's why I'm supporting this. And
absolutely. If you want to get your brand out there, please feel free to DM us and send us some stuff. We're happy to wear it. I mean, the point of this show is that while we're talking, we're promoting your brand. So feel free to send us some stuff.
What about Detroit versus Gucci?
I saw that, yo. Hey, man, look, if it's supporting the black community, I'm with it. Because Gucci is good for making you buy some shit that's overpriced.
$295?
Sure. If it's going to the black community. If it's not going to them, I'm good with it.
If it's helping the black designer out,
yeah,
who came up with the Detroit versus everybody, and everybody else, like every other city and organization, co-opted that to fit their particular, message. If it's supporting him, go buy that $300 Gucci T-shirt if you can. But if not, also understand, Gucci's full of shit.
But now you're going to have crackers wearing that shit. It was more like a black brand. You saw niggas wore that shit.
Yeah.
Now, crackers going to be wearing that shit.
I agree.
Gucci
I saw that.
Been full of shit. I don't like none of that shit. I don't wear none of that shit because they don't care about people who look like me, so I don't care about them. I ain't never going to support it. Yeah. They can have that shit. Yeah. I know they doing it just to jump in on this pro-black vibe. That's the wave that's out there right now. That's the only reason they did it. Because they had their fucking black face with red lip shit not too long ago.
Yes.
So,
there was somebody that said the right word that I haven't heard in a long time. They say, yo, the time is right. The time is fertile for black brands to go to the moon. And that just couldn't be more right, yo. Like, yo, we're so, we've gotten past the point where somebody say, stay woke. We so woke that I almost sometimes think we hypersensitive.
Black culture, black community, black people, we're not woke. We been up. Our eyes been open. It's just now.
Why you say we not woke?
Because we don't. Woke means you've been asleep. Black people was never asleep.
Oh, we was.
No, we was never asleep.
You don't agree?
No, what is occurring now is everything that we've seen and we've witnessed, we just allowing others to witness it with our eyes. You can now get in on our experience. You're never going to be the person to personally experience this shit. But we're just telling other motherfuckers, hey, we've been seeing what y'all been doing.
Web, if we were doing this podcast 15 years ago, I would have on a polo sweatshirt or hoodie.
Oh, most definitely.
It is my duty to promote. Dear friend.
Kango, though.
Huh?
Got on that nut ass Joe.
Right, but this is the culture, though. I mean, like, maybe Kango is about the white people, but I feel like this is a cultural piece. Do you remember when we was taking pictures and the old head pulled up on his bike? Yeah, and he was like, "Damn, that Kango is cold."
Because he was saying,
I didn't even
talk to a different.
Bruh, I didn't even understand what he was saying.
Yeah,
but he was like, "Yo, that Kango is cold," and he was coming from a different era. I mean, he was clearly like 20 to 30 years older than us. Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, that John doing it."
I just don't look at it like. Black people, when you see the phrase "stay woke," we not talking about us.
When's the last time you seen that on a hashtag?
You don't need to, because we was never talking about us. We was talking to the people who was asleep the whole time. Y'all need to stay woke. We been up.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Oh, you think black people been asleep? How
we've been asleep.
How? When? When was we asleep? Tell me when. What period was we sleeping?
The period where we still trying to get motherfuckers to watch us. The period where we still trying to get them to buy Dear Friend. And your brand. I don't even know. What is it?
DSE.
DSE. Yeah.
The period. Style Exchange.
Yeah, sure. Where we trying to get them to buy that. We're still asleep, bro.
No.
Like the period where Killer Mike never came out and said the black dollar exists longer in our community. Okay. That period.
I
We're
agree
still
with that.
there.
the black dollar does not exist long enough. It doesn't live long enough in the black community. I agree with that. But when it comes to the overall status of black people in this country and understanding that we have been leading all things that have moved forward in this country.
We don't realize that, bro.
Oh, black people knew that we were the best in every sport. We knew we were the best actors. We knew we were the smartest people. We were the best scientists. We knew we were the best inventors. We knew that we're the best. We're the best educators. We knew that.
We don't know how to monetize it.
Well,
we don't realize that we're the best people behind our own self. We don't understand that. We don't understand how to take white dollars and monetize that shit. The biggest consumers of hip hop, we haven't figured that shit out yet. Haven't figured it out. We haven't figured out how to make Lil Wayne and them niggas to wear some black shit when they go do a motherfucking conference, whatever.
When they, you know what? But I've thought about that. Like, why do our rappers that we support, they love to talk about Gucci this and Versace that and Tom Ford this, and don't nobody that worked there and designed that shit look like us?
No, but they start giving them kickbacks.
But nobody looks like us. And I respect the fact that, like Ross, I know Ross when he do shit. He's employing so many black people every time he puts on a show or every time he puts out an album. What he doing a tour. No matter what he doing, he's employing and supporting his people. Mm-hmm. But in his music, he's talking about Gucci and Versace and Rolls Royce. Nobody that's there looks like us.
No.
So why the fuck am I wasting my words on them?
What does Dapper Dan do? I'm confused about him.
Dapper Dan leads the culture is what he does.
Yeah. But I've never looked at him to say, like, what is he doing? Okay, I'm going to wear that.
No, what that was, to hip-hop, mm-hmm. He fashioned hip-hop, period. Like,
he fashioned hip-hop, okay.
Like, if you was a hip-hop icon, mm-hmm. You went to Dapper Dan or you wasn't on camera, period. You had to wear some Dap shit.
I'm with it.
Eric B. and Rakim had on Dap shit. LL Cool J had on Dap shit. All the hustlers had on Dapper Dan shit. And what happened was...
LL is the GOAT. I don't give a damn what you say.
But what happened was... Gucci recognized they tried to... Yes.
Bimmy said he was the GOAT.
Bimmy said he was the GOAT, so he's the GOAT. I'm not going to argue with niggas like
Bimmy. Hey, Bimmy, drop a jaw. Nigga say he the GOAT.
Hold up. All right, so let me ask you. I don't want to ask you nothing. I want to say something.
Don't say nothing.
This is completely off the topic. Kill. So, recently, mm-hmm. I'm 37. And what I've realized lately is it's a lot of people that I've known, mm-hmm. went to school with, hung out with, whatever, that have had to realize their mortality in a very straightforward way. Mm. I've lost more people that are my age in the past 2 years than I ever could remember. My mom, and maybe I don't remember, like my mom lost some friends and I was just too young to recognize, but I feel like I'm losing more people who are my peers. And I'm saying this because most recently, in the past couple weeks, I lost a homie. I want to give a shout out to Frank. He's a member of Omega Psi Phi. But he is a pastor, and I met him through our brother Paul Thomas. Mm-hmm. And Frank was like, Frank showed love like day one when I met him. We chopped it up. And we got along and we was telling jokes and kicking it and just like we was flowing, like, you know what I mean? Like the way you do with your homies. And since the day I met Frank many years ago, he's always been that guy. And he was, I mean, I don't know the exact age. Like, I'm going to say 40 or right under. He passed away a couple weeks ago. Cancer. He fought his battle. Yeah. It looked like he came back. Then the cancer came back stronger. And, you know, finally he made his transition.
Yeah.
But then it's like another dude that I knew at Dell State, Justin Manlove, passed away. A couple years ago, Mike Feeney from Dell State passed away. It's just that it's people our age who are passing away, and it makes you realize your own mortality. It makes you come face to face with it, and it's a serious thing, man. Like,
we gotta wrap Sticks into that, man.
Oh, Sticks touched me in a way that's forever.
Yeah.
Sticks hit me before I was able to even compute what that shit was going to do to me.
Fuck me up. Yeah.
Sticks, I'm still feeling the effects of my brother going like that. You know what I mean? But we're at the age now. I feel like once you hit that 30 to, I don't even know, 45 age, you start realizing like, oh, everybody that you came up with ain't going to be here the whole time.
Right.
And it's just, it's something that's slapping me in the face right now.
Yeah. That's a rough situation, and it's funny because I was talking to one cat who said, you know, it's not about how long you lived here and what you done over that time. It's more about, you know, if you had a shorter period, what did you do in that time? And did you touch some people? Did you move the needle forward? Because we just don't know when the time is. We don't know the day nor the hour. But what'd you do until that point? And that's when you start living a purposeful life. You know what I mean? And I can imagine, you know, based on, you know, just how you feel about those guys. I don't know most of those guys, but I know Sticks. And I know that, you know, as a brother from another chapter and Cap Alpha Psi, whenever I came down, you know, to Dell State, he always showed love. And I know there's a bunch of brothers here could say the same and say, you know what? That was his thing. He showed love. And that's when you kind of live your purpose. You know what I mean? But it's real, man. Like, you know, we're not old, but we're getting into that point where we got to be worried about how we live our life. And, you know, you kind of always challenge us. You say, yo, you know, make sure you're in the gym. I mean, I'm in the gym. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Make sure y'all come and join me and do what you need to do. And I'll never forget about this one thing that you fucking did. That shit was crazy. We were on U Street in DC, and there was this guy. He was, I mean, I could assume he was a homeless guy. Maybe he wasn't, but he was a homeless guy, and you could tell either he was kind of like out there on drugs or something. And you said, "What you need, homie?" And he was like, "Oh man, I don't need nothing." Blah, blah, blah. You know how guys do out in the streets. And you say, "Stay right here." And you came back out to him with a 6-pack of beer. Yeah. And that's the level of love that we need in our community. Maybe that wasn't, you know, the right thing he needed to, you know, go forward.
What actually happened at the time, we was walking in the store. I remember what you're talking about. We was walking in a liquor store right there, 2 doors down from Law Society.
Right. About 14th and you. Yeah.
And homie said, "Yo, can you just get me something?" He was asking for a couple $, and I said, "No, I ain't gonna give you no money, but what you want?" He said, "I just want a beer." I said, "You want a single beer?" He said, "Yeah."
Shit got his ass a delirium.
And I said, "Oh, he'd been out there drunk right now." But I said, "Well, go in there, get what you want." He said, "No, I can't go in there because they know, like, they don't just want the street people, so to speak, going in there and hanging out."
Right.
I said, no, you can go on because you come on with me. Pick what you want. And he said, get me whatever sheep. I said, no, get what you want. And he picked like Corona or whatever it was. And I said, all right, cool. Put it on. And I got it for him. I said, if that's what you need right now, I'm going to get you what you need. Yeah. It may not be the healthiest option, but I don't know what space you are in life where you need that and it's going to help you. And it's a 6-pack. So maybe you got some homies that's out there who you could pass that off to. You're going to give them a beat. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
That's an amazing thing, though, bro. Because most people look at either homeless people or people that are out there on drugs or whatever and say, I'm not going to deal with you because here's where I am in life. And I think that you did what I would call a random act of kindness, which I think that's what Valentine's Day should be. Because so many people are like, yo, I'm no longer patronizing Hallmark. I'm married, so that's not my date no more. Now my day is my anniversary.
Right.
Valentine's Day should be random acts of kindness. Every February 14th, we should do something for somebody else. And I looked at that and I was like, damn, Webb, you bought this nigga a 6-pack of beer. He never was so happy in so many years
That's bad.
that somebody bought him some beer. That's where we gotta be, bro. We gotta fill in the gaps.
That's real. That's real.
So,
So,
I'm appreciative of what you did, man.
I brought this topic up just because something, my homie that passed away, Frank Smart. Forever empower Frank Smart. Forever empower Armand Martin. Forever empower Mike Feeney. It's a lot of people we could scream out. JC, our frat brother.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my homie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people we could scream out. Rob Holmes from ZMU, my OG, charter my chapter. But it's a lot of people we could scream out that just makes you understand. It's always a reminder that this thing is short and we got to live it. We got to live it to the best of our abilities. But when it comes down to it, living it to the best of our abilities always comes down to helping someone else.
Yeah.
Giving something to someone else. Giving a part of us to someone else. And we got to do that.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out to my line brother, Nadir. Many of y'all may know him as The Real Status on Instagram, but he's out there on the ground in Texas trying to make sure that they have water and the proper essentials, just have basic survival. You know what I mean? And we can't forget them in our prayers and our conversations. Texas and Mississippi, they're all going through it. So I just wanted to shout them out. But hey guys, nobody's gonna take care of us like us. And I feel like I just need to say that, and that's on so many fronts. Like I feel like I keep saying this and people look at me crazy. It's like, yo, why don't Master P talk to Jay-Z? And why don't Master P and Jay-Z talk to Oprah? There's so much money. There's so much power there. But we feel stuck. Why are we stuck? There's so much money. Why don't they talk to each other and say, yo, we got the equation.
Because
got it.
What they've been doing over their careers.
Yeah.
They said, I don't need to talk to somebody else who's eating the way I'm eating. I'm trying to talk to y'all who not eating. And we not listening. P been talking to us for 30 years. Hove been talking to us for 30 years. Damn it. Like, that's the zone.
I got you, Webb.
That's a whole different zone.
I got you, but why was Cheney's doors about to close? I'm just confused about that shit. Like, why do we got niggas like P
why is
and
Morris
J and
Brown
O
out of accreditation?
Yeah, why?
Why is Grambling struggling?
Why Oprah gave the money to Spelman.
Dr. Dre gave the money to USC.
So I'm just saying, like, yo, what? The black agenda is all over the map, yo. And like, if you don't bail out the first and second HBCUs, like Cheney and Lincoln, they go back and forth about who's the first and blah, blah, blah. If there's no them, there's no more HBCUs. So why would you take a surplus and drop it on more HBCUs? Like, yo, yo, we got to take care of us.
That's a serious thing. That's a serious topic.
Yeah, man.
We don't take care of us enough. We need to.
I think
we gotta support us.
Yeah, we gotta support us, man. Absolutely. And the funny thing is, I think those schools have graduated the firepower to be able to do it, and they just haven't. For some reason, the connection just hasn't happened.
All right, so I got one last question for you.
Don't ask me nothing.
I got one last joint.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
You're a young boy.
It ain't gonna be no. Ain't gonna be no shit that I usually catch you with.
Nah, I usually do.
Ain't gonna be one of them.
I'm good with it.
No, ain't gonna be one of them. It's lighter than it's heavy, but it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real question that I've had with Marty, our brother that we love.
Mm-hmm.
So often in our black families, as a black man, you got to be on all the time. You got to be the provider. You got to be a father. You got to be a husband. You got to be this. You got to be that. You got to be all these things.
You
got to go. You got to go to work. You got to come home. You got to, help out here and do whatever you got to do. Whatever.
No days off.
No days off. So that's perfect.
Niggas love
what
that shit.
Does a off day for you look like? When are you allowed to have a bad day, and what does that bad day look like? What is it like when, and this is what I went through, and this is what our brother went through. My grandmother passed away, and I'm out of there. I'm not checking in no more. I'm out. I'm checked out. His mother passed away at the same time. He's checked out. What does a bad day look like? Because you always supposed to be on. But when you're off, what does that off look like?
I just feel like that off is your right. And should literally cut off your phone, cut off your computer. Yo, ask most motherfuckers who work remote. If you take a day off, you don't actually cut off your phone. You don't actually cut off your computer. Somehow you're still tethered.
Yeah, you're still tethered
to that job.
But
I feel like you should actually take, like, when we say, okay, we're taking a personal day. Like, there were companies that had a vacation day, there's a personal day, and then there's a sick day. What bucket did you put mental health? Is that vacation? Is that sick? Is that personal? What bucket is that allowed to go in? And when you write your semi-explanation for what category a day you're taking, where do you put it?
So that's in the professional world. Personally, what do we do? Because your wife, when you say, look, I'm off.
Can't do that. You can't do that.
But remember, and this, I'm going to get super insider, super personal now. You had a situation recently. We're not going to get into this exact details, but you had a family situation that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be with you when the situation was, developing.
Yeah.
But you had to go handle some serious shit.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with that, when do you get to say, hey, look, I can't deal with nothing else right now because I have to deal with this. I can't worry about what time I'm coming home. I can't worry about your son is asking for you to come. I know that's always going to be my kids, but right here, right now, can you hold this down because I'm going through something.
Right.
I was there, and I had situations that was going on, and At home, it's like, yo, well, I can't. I can't because I literally cannot. Mentally, I cannot. Emotionally, I cannot. I'm 110% tied to this other situation. So anything you're asking for me right now, I don't have it to give.
Yeah.
But what does your off day look like? When are you allowed to be off? When are you allowed to say, I'm taking some time?
Yeah.
Not a whole day. I need 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours to me because I got to handle this. I got to think this shit out. I got to come up with a game plan. What's that like?
Less is more. If you got to be there for your brother, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. I got to get there for my brother. There's no more to it. This is not science. This is nothing. Sometimes you just gotta be there for your brother. And that may mean pain with somebody else. Bro, this is
It may mean pain for somebody else.
It may mean pain for somebody else, bro. This is not in a textbook. You gonna piss some people off because you're there for your brother. But at the end of the day, like when it's so funny because like when people die, you be like, oh, that was my man, and da 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 da, and this, that, and the other. What did you do when they was here?
When they was here.
And I can say at the end of the day, I was there for my brother, and it was painful for somebody else. But I was there for my brother, and they appreciated it, and somebody else didn't. But I'm in a peculiar situation because you're talking about me particularly. I don't have
precarious is the proper word, but
no. But me particularly, you weren't talking. I'm not. My mother and my father are not here. So only brothers have to look out for brothers. That's all we got.
That's all that's left.
That's all we got. And so, like, sometimes your decision's gonna piss some people off, but you got to be there for them.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
For us, and we can only talk about us because we've only been black men. It's not easy for us to have an off day. It's not easy for us to say the social injustice that's occurring in America is having a fucking weight on my back. What's going on in my personal family is having a weight on my back. What's going on in my personal physical health and or mental emotional health is having a weight on my back. And now it's all coming down on me. And you know what? I gotta acknowledge it. I gotta address it. And I can't address another fucking thing until I take care of me. Because I can't be good for you unless I take care of me.